Alright guys, today we're gonna be reacting to why do Europeans dislike Americans so much. Let's see what's going on here. Make sure you like and subscribe. We're heading to
I'm asking questions about how Europeans see Americans.
I think it's a third world country with a lot of money. Very negative.
Very negative.
Yeah, I don't see anything positive about America.
I think
Wow.
they're a bit stupid. American TikTokers, they earn too much money with what they do. Like in Belgium, you have to work for money and they just make videos and that's it.
Oh my god. You know, I'm
wow. Well, we decided to just react to this video, so might as well jump in.
might be completely wrong about this, but I think it was a little bit cooler to be American when I was a kid. I've lived in Europe for several years now, and look, I've romanticized this continent quite a bit. I really like living here. But there's a funny feeling that I cannot shake, and I think it has to do with how Europeans view Americans, or how Europeans view me when they discover that I'm American. And it's not entirely positive. This feeling has not gone away even though I've been here for a few years now. And it's not hatred, it's more like negative undertones, offhand comments or jokes that are made, and it makes me feel not very cool. And by the way, I recognize not all Europeans dislike Americans. That is a massive generalization. But I'm bringing this up because it's been enough of a trend for me to confidently talk about this as something that...
Well, it's how media portray the Americans. I mean, what do we portray to the world? Hollywood, New York City, LA. We never portray what America is, like the continent, the countryside. If people knew what America really is, they will understand Americanism, right? I've been living in this country for my entire life, folks. Puerto Rico, travel multiple states, work in multiple states, and I'm telling you, the perception of what American is, a lot of people get it. I mean, I would say 95% of people get it wrong, because it is our fault. For the reason is that we export New York City and Los Angeles. That's what we export.
It's really happening in the world. I don't think it's just in my head. It just seems like when it comes to Europeans' view of Americans, there's a lot to dislike. I don't necessarily entirely disagree. I have plenty of my own criticisms about the United States and the way of life over there. And I think that all places, all societies merit criticism. That's how we get better. So this applies to everyone. But there's something deeper going on here that I want to explore. On a personal level, my own identity as an American, but also the identity of Americans on the global stage. We don't live in a bubble, and it turns out the whole world has opinions about us. Now, I have my own theories about what's going on here, but I thought I'd get to the root of the matter and ask Europeans themselves.
Okay, let's see.
It makes me a little bit nervous talking to strangers, but I'm just
You got it, bro.
just gonna go for it.
Yeah, you got it, man.
What are the stereotypes?
That's a good question.
Bah moi quand je pense aux Américains, je pense à la bouffe et tout.
Dans quel sens? Le fast-food?
Ouais,
Ok.
les McDo. Ouais.
McDo? Ouais, ok.
Hamburger et tout.
Mais les Français adorent McDo.
Oui, bah on y était il y a 2 minutes.
Donc c'est pas forcément négatif ça.
Non, non.
Ok.
Mais c'est l'image.
Actually, I like Americans
Okay.
because they are like very chilled. America is like so expensive for good food. Like
Yeah.
for
Interesting.
like fruits and all this fresh stuff, it's like so expensive.
J'ai deux visions un peu.
Ok.
J'ai la version où ils sont trop cool et tout, et la version vraiment le beauf américain.
Do you think the
Damn,
stereotypes
bro.
about Americans are true?
Kind of. I have a classmate that is American, and we are talking like about our traditional foods. And the American was like, my typical food is hamburger.
No way, bro. No way, bro. I am an American, and I don't know any American that says, you know what, my traditional food is in the morning is hamburger, because we don't cook hamburger. Isn't that interesting? You don't cook hamburger in your home. You go to the diner to eat hamburger. Isn't that interesting? You don't cook hamburger. You can't cook hamburger, and I know how to. I know how to cook some good hamburger, but traditional food I would not even consider hamburger to be a traditional food. You see what I'm saying?
ice cream like the McDonald's one, and we are like, oh, so McDonald's is your typical food. She was like, yeah, kind of.
Can I just take
Really?
a couple minutes, ask you a couple questions? It's okay if you don't have time, it's fine. Okay, all good. Have a nice day.
Sorry, man. You got it, bro.
Time for me. That's kind of funny. Would you mind if I asked you a couple questions?
Polarized. Extremely polarized.
Yeah.
Mm.
More than the Netherlands.
Much more.
Feel younger people feel the same way or differently about American?
I think even stronger.
Even
Wow.
stronger.
I think they
Okay.
feel even stronger.
Yeah, the older people, I feel maybe thinking of the World War II and World
Yeah.
War I,
Really?
in which the Americans did a very good job
Yeah,
by helping because Europe was not doing very well.
yeah.
Ils connaissent que ce qui se passe dans leur pays, j'ai
Ouais,
l'impression.
ouais.
Parce que,
Enfermés sur eux-mêmes.
Bon, enfermés sur eux-mêmes.
C'est-à-dire
Well
que
said.
c'est pas contre eux, mais qu'ils s'intéressent pas trop aux autres pays.
They know
Hmm.
about their own country, but not about like other stuff in the world. They're overrated.
Damn.
How, like,
Damn, bro. This is crazy. You know what? It is what it is, man. Hey, it is what it is.
they receive too much attention?
Yeah,
Yes.
too much hype
Too much
on
hype.
the internet.
Are you also German?
yes, I am.
And in Germany, you feel like German people have a positive view of Americans? Or
Not really.
no?
I think
Okay,
so.
so
Wow.
negative.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you feel that there's been a change at all in terms of how Americans are viewed, like in the last 10, 15 years?
I think so, yes. Especially due to the Trump and the Tea Party things happening.
Oh, really? Wow. Because of Trump and the Tea Party. Wow, really?
It got more polarized and that made it more negative in my view.
There's more that I'd like to say about why I believe this dynamic is happening, why Europeans see Americans in this way. But before
Because
I
of
do,
Trump.
I want to thank the sponsor of this video, which is BetterHelp. And look, therapy is a really powerful tool when it comes to anything and everything identity related. I absolutely love living abroad. I wouldn't exchange it for the world. But it has come with its own emotionally challenging situations.
not
It's been
easy.
helpful to work with a therapist.
Yeah, not easy. He's living alone, probably abroad, far away from home, and a lot of people cannot do that, right? Like, I have to give it to him. He's doing it, right? But it's not easy. I can imagine. I went through something similar when I went to even here, people that live in Louisiana, they go up to New York and stuff like that. They feel kind of weird. It's not easy. And we're talking about the United States. Imagine somebody moving from one country to another country. Not easy. I get
over
him.
the years. Loneliness, my own self-image, my self-worth.
Bro, you
Those
have
are the kinds of
apps.
things that I've been working at, developing a deeper understanding of over the years, thanks to therapy. BetterHelp is 100% online and designed to be convenient and flexible to adapt to your schedule and what works for you. You can message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions when it works for you. They give you access to a very large
Oh, wow.
network of licensed therapists, and so if the therapist that you're working with doesn't work out, it isn't a good fit, you can switch to a new one at no additional charge. So if you're interested in checking it out, you can get 10% off your first month if you sign up at betterhelp.com/NathanielDrew, and I'll leave that link in the description as well. It's one of the
Okay.
best ways to support my work. Thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this video. All right, time for me to share some of my own personal theories here. Here's why I think it was maybe a little bit cooler to be American in the past. I was born in the 90s, maybe like some of you. And back in the 90s, it's not like the United States, or the world for that matter, didn't have its problems. It definitely did. You're not gonna get any of that classic, nostalgic, those were the days kind of thing from me. But one thing I think we can all agree on is that back in the 90s, the internet had not yet completely taken over our lives like it has now. And in my view, the internet feels like it's taken whatever problems already existed and made them bigger and
Amplify
louder.
it.
That might actually be what the internet is best
Yeah,
at.
amplify it. It does amplify a lot.
The fast transmission
Yep.
of ideas and information, which in turn amplifies them. And there's another thing that the internet is really good at, which is that it is a canvas for less curated or filtered versions of that information or ideas. There are less gatekeepers, so anyone can say anything. My theory is that as time has gone on, and as the internet has played a bigger and bigger role in our lives, the world has been exposed to a less curated version of the United States.
States.
You know, you had movies and TV and pop music reaching the entire world, but it wasn't like it is today with social media and even the news reaching so many more people. Nowadays, it feels like you cannot escape the news about the mass shootings that are constantly happening in the US or the insane election cycles. I think in some ways, the internet might have taken away some of our innocence, right? Some of our naivete. As a result, even more curated versions of culture, like the highly produced TV shows and movies, are reflecting the things that we're seeing. The unintelligent or simple American is a very believable archetype and not a new one. You've got at least one and often more than one character that perfectly fits that archetype in pretty much all American sitcoms, from Friends to How I Met Your Mother. And there are plenty of shows that play off of this very intentionally. I think of South Park and Family Guy and The Simpsons. And internationally, the contrast is
these are things are just, how can I explain this, right? And this is our fault. But these are shows that are being released from one side of the country, like a small piece of the country, like this, bro. Like this. That's called Los Angeles, Hollywood. All those things that you guys saw, that is all from there. I mean, the rest of the country is not even a quarter reflected on those shows. It's not even close, man. And I don't blame the Europeans, man, for just getting that perspective. I mean, it is what it is. But I'm telling you guys, and I think there was a video about a British guy going through the United States, different states, right? He couldn't believe how different the United States and how different he used to perceive it. And he was trying to just tell the Europeans, like, you guys don't understand how the United States is unless you come here. Because what we produce to the outside is just a lot of, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of these things, McDonald's and stuff like that. It is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Stark. And it might just be me, but it does feel like the perception of Americans is deteriorating. I mean, I'm thinking about shows like Emily in Paris or The White Lotus. The White Lotus in particular blew me away because it felt so believable and oftentimes in a very depressing way. Clearly, Americans are not known for being refined or in touch with reality. This is particularly true of wealthy Americans. And why wouldn't Europeans feel this way? We are famously terrible at learning foreign languages. To many, we're seen as living in our own giant bubble.
A lot of people beforehand used to think like the US was like very cool and this really lovely place to go to, but I feel like everyone just thinks it's dangerous and that they don't care about their citizens. There's all these shootings going on.
Yeah, that's
like,
crazy.
Healthcare is horrible. Their schooling's horrible.
So there's been a change.
I think it's always been like that. I think there's a change now because like social media is like is making it more apparent.
America used to be, you know, like the American dream, like a lot of them used to be a big thing. Like gun crime is getting like publicized a lot more, so I think like the narrative is changing a little bit.
Je vois l'Amérique comme une grande puissance mondiale et je les vois comme des capitalistes. En fait, si t'as de l'argent, tu vis bien, mais si t'as pas d'argent, y a personne pour t'aider. Marche ou crève.
In France, we say the Americans are big and fat, but I have America with the friends, the salary friends.
Donc il y a des côtés positifs et des côtés négatifs.
Ouais, c'est ça exactement. Globalement, les gens pensent ça, mais en même temps, tout le monde veut aller à New York et tout le monde veut aller aux États-Unis.
Ouais, d'accord, ok.
C'est ça en fait. Ouais.
See, there you go. This is the problem right there. Why in the hell you want to go to New York? It makes no sense. I went to New York, I hate it. And I'm an American. I went to New York, I hate it. Why you want to go there? Unless you want to go to the outside of New York, I'll be okay. But why in the hell? It's like going to Germany, you're only going to Berlin. Okay, let me just go to Germany, but let me just go to Berlin. Like, that's Germany, but it's not the heart of Germany.
Préjugé, mais en même temps, c'est quand même un rêve d'y aller.
J'étais absolument ulcérée quand Trump était au pouvoir. De voir le comportement de cet homme, ça donne pas envie d'aller forcément dans ces conditions-là. Le fait que les gens soient très très armés, j'ai l'impression que je me sentirais pas en sécurité.
Most people love Canadians.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so once you clarify you're Canadian, they're like,
yeah. You're like, oh, Canada, where are you from in Canada?
For me, it's like a lot about the money, like the times I went to New York and it's like, you know, winners and losers and, you know, you gotta make it and you gotta make loads of money and la 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 la, and then like if you don't have money, you're like basically fucked. I would say extremes.
Extremes.
It's like an extreme, you know, country, like very very rich, very very poor.
Right.
Eat very much, eat very 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 healthy, like
Yeah.
extreme healthy, extreme,
Yeah.
like XXXL and McDonald's,
Yeah.
whatever.
Where are you from?
England.
Perfect. So I'm doing a video on Europeans' view of Americans.
Okay.
I don't know if you have
We're
any
not
opinions about that.
European.
So okay.
Oh, this blondie.
No, we're not.
This lady right here is a blondie. Wow, what a piece of rock. What a piece of rock. What did she say? Let me just get that again.
Europeans' view of Americans.
Okay.
I don't know if you have
We're
any
not
opinions about that.
European.
Well, we're the American. We're the stupid, I guess.
So okay.
Europe. No, we're not. We left the EU.
Oh my God.
Do you feel like it's a more positive or a negative view of Americans?
I'd say negative. I feel like there's a lot going on there that's just a bit backwards.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we need to move along.
Yeah.
The like all the abortion laws coming
Okay, so
in.
politically.
And, yeah, like all the gun crimes,
Yeah.
things like that. Like
I agree with the
I
gun
imagine,
crimes.
Like the
I agree with guns crime, but the problem is that a lot of these gun crimes are from the illegal guns. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. You can ban the guns, you can ban everything, but you're not going to stop illegal guns, right? You have to, first of all, they're imported from outside the United States to come in. And how can I say this? A lot of these mass shootings are with assault rifles, right? Automatic weapons, which are illegal in the United States. You cannot have an automatic weapon in the United States. Some states are okay, but like AK-47, you cannot have that. That's banned. But a lot of these mass shootings are AK-47, or sometimes they use the AR-15. But this is AR-15. They went through background check. The guy got the dime, and then all of a sudden he went and just bought it in the black market. And I mean, it's the place where the United States is located. You have Mexico and all the South America stuff, man. These people, I mean, the guns on those places just are rampant, man. And they just come to the United States from the southern border. There's nothing else you can do. What are you gonna do? You gonna ban all the guns and just allow criminals to just go crazy? I mean, think about it, folks. These people already committing a crime by having illegal guns. You say, boy, but you ban the guns and you get rid of the guns. They are illegal guns. Illegal guns. They found and they took the guns illegally. Even if you have a ban, these people are criminals. You guys have to understand that. You're having citizens like Chicago. You cannot have guns in those places, man. New York City, good luck having a gun. You cannot have guns. In those places, you have people getting killed 1 or 2 times. So that 1 to 2 deaths a day in those cities. I mean, Chicago, in a weekend, 30, 45. And you cannot have guns in those places. Like what they get, like assault weapons, automatic weapons, they are illegal. But this is how they kill people.
most of the country is absolutely lovely, but there's some of the morals that are just a little bit off for me. So I struggle with that.
I agree, but I do think you all like proper chatty and that, and you're really energetic.
Yeah.
So it's a positive thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
But I
lovely
also
to
agree
meet
with that as well.
Yeah.
It's lovely to meet Americans.
Yeah.
Love meeting Americans.
Okay, so why am I so interested in this topic? Well, over the last few years, I have shared my journey moving abroad and looking for a home. Because that home is not the United States. I just don't feel connected to that country. Not as a home, even though I'm coming to realize that it did shape me in many ways. I'm just trying to find my place, but as I've said before, different people will treat you in different ways based off of how they perceive you. The first time I experienced this was during my high school exchange in France when I was 16 years old. Obama was president, and regardless of your personal political opinions or feelings, he was seen in a generally positive light abroad. So in a weird way, even though I was not responsible for electing him, I wasn't even of age to vote, that scored me some cool points. And then on top of it, 16-year-old French kids living in a small town in the west of France thought it was cool that I rode a yellow bus to school and that I had my own personal locker in the United States. So I was benefiting from all these things that I didn't really control it all. Then I get to Argentina a few years later, and I see what it's like to be on the flip side, where the general sentiment was more negative. I'm generalizing here, but there's a bit of an anti-American streak in Argentina. And I think this comes down to the image that the United States has of being a bit of a bully. I mean, Che Guevara is a bit of an anti-American, anti-capitalist symbol, right? So that was a very different experience, and now I'm back in Europe, and I've been here for a while, and the perception has changed yet again.
90% of the Dutchmen think Trump is quite strange.
Yeah.
They think Republicans are also quite strange, and that Americans are very Puritan.
This might just be me, but I do feel like the image of Americans
Damn.
has deteriorated a little bit over the last 10 years. That might come down to the government that's currently in power. It might come down to social media. This is a very complex thing, so I can't point to a single reason, but it's definitely a feeling that's there. Now, on a personal level, before I realized that this was going on, I was kind of unintentionally overcompensating. I felt like I needed to show that I wasn't the out-of-touch American in Europe.
Yeah, that's
And
a
the
mistake.
Same thing happened to me.
That's a mistake. See, that in itself is a mistake. I'll explain you why. Because then you're trying to be somebody that you're not. If such saying a Japanese guy coming to your home in Europe and all of a sudden he's trying to not be a Japanese. He's trying himself so hard. Let's say there's a bad rap with Japanese and Japanese are perceived as a wrong kind of guy. I'm just to give you an example. And he's saying, no, I'm not that kind of Japanese. Don't see him like that. See, that's a bad way to just go through the world. Right? Personally, I prefer authentic people, even if I don't like them. The reason is because you want to see you want to see the truth of people. And it's okay.
Me in Argentina, where I was speaking with as much slang as I possibly could that I picked up over there, even when it was just way too much, when it was inappropriate. Es zarpado, boludo, está re piola, pibe, mal.
Ugh.
Why was I acting like
Ugh.
that? Was there a deeper need within me to be accepted by the people that I am surrounded by? To me, it's a little bit cringy to behave that way because it's overcompensating for something, which in this case was the identity that people were associating with me. Whatever it was, the out of touch, stupid American, whatever it might be. But that's actually a me problem, not a problem with the world. I've come
Yeah.
to realize that people can
That's
think
beautiful.
whatever they want about you. It doesn't change who you are. If people see me as yet another dumb American, it doesn't mean that's true. And also, it doesn't mean all Americans are that way. I think we all know this. We all know that individuals don't necessarily follow the stereotypes, but it's also...
See, now you're thinking like an American. See? So this is how Americans think, folks. They're individuals, right? And when you go to a country like Europe, not Europe. Europe is not a country, right? So when you go to these different countries in Europe, they think a little bit different. They think more about community. So it's a little bit of different, right? Nor or either are wrong. They're just is. They just are. He's searching for something. This guy is searching for something. I'm telling you, he's searching for something. And at the end of the tunnel, he'll be surprised what it is.
How people operate in a world of 8 billion people. I can't blame people for having formulated an idea about the place that I'm from, considering how much culture is exported from that place. A part of me used to try to distance myself as much as possible from anything and everything American. But the truth is that at least some part of me, some piece of me, has been influenced by my upbringing. There are a lot of things I don't like, but there are some things that I do. If genuinely being very enthusiastically excited about simple things is the dumb American thing to do, then fine, maybe I'm a dumb American sometimes.
Yeah, but
Because
welcome to the club, man.
That is something that comes naturally to me. I would rather be myself and accept the
Yeah.
consequences than try to be someone that I'm not. And you know what? Everyone wants to feel welcome wherever they are, and especially in their home. But the reality is that that's actually a luxury, not a given. So many immigrants in the United States were never made to feel that way, despite the fact that the country benefited tremendously from all the immigration, all the people that risked their lives to go build something over there. Honestly, I don't have it that bad.
See,
Who am I
even you writing that statement. Or what about slavery? People that didn't even get to choose and still got mistreated. See, even that statement right here, that means that you still have to do a lot of work, man. It's like telling Germans, oh, what about the, NAZI? Like, What about that? Like, it doesn't come down to what they are today. You see what I'm saying? Like, you created certain ideas, right, that are not helping you. I'm not helping you to not only become a good American, right, but also become a better self, or a better person, a better self. You're carrying some weight on your shoulders that you should not be doing. Right, bro? If we listen, man. Every country has some weird stuff going on in their past. We know every country, but they cannot keep just holding those things. They can learn from them, right? However, you have to move on from these stupid ideas, man. Enough is enough, right? Like, it's okay to be an American living in Europe and just enjoying their culture. Make sure you respect them. That's it. If they want to perceive that the Americans are dumb, eating McDonald's, what's the other one? Kentucky, Burger King, Popeyes, what's the other one? Starbucks drinkers, I guess. There's a multiple of them. Let it be, man. You can't control that. You can only control who you are.
Lives to go build something over there. Honestly, I don't have it that bad. Who am I kidding? I don't have it bad at all. It could be so much worse, and oftentimes it is. Exploring this topic has really given me quite a bit of empathy for the immigrants that are very poorly received all around the world. So, what do you think about everything I just shared here? What is your perception of Americans or of Europeans towards Americans? I would be curious to hear, because this
See what I'm saying? He's just comparing cities, man. Like,
is
the
a
hell, bro?
giant open-ended topic, and I invite all different opinions and perspectives on this. It's just something I love to explore. Also, apologies to all Latin Americans and Canadians who are Americans in their own right.
Okay, bro. Okay. Now you lost me. They're not Americans. They live in the Americas. They're not Americans. See, I just fixed it for you Europeans over there. Argentinians and Canadians are not American. They just live in the Americas, but they're not American. They don't consider themselves Americans. You understand? Have you ever heard a Canadian say, yes, I'm an American? Or a Chilean or Argentinian say, yes, I'm American, right? No. This is the problem that you have to work on, man. I'm just telling you, bro. I never met a Mexican saying, yes, call me an American, by the way. No. It is what it is, man. Let me know what you guys think. Some of you guys are gonna disagree with me. I'm okay with that. All right. You guys can be, honest in the comment section. I'm okay with that. However, I'm just here to learn as well. But yeah, nice video. I mean, a lot of these things are our fault. As a country, we just explore these images, and we have to hold ourselves accountable. That's what it is. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'll see you in the next one.